For those who don't already know, my wife, Medioposa, Jen, and I both work as cashiers at a very large retailer. Well, the other day, a young man went through my line and he commented that he doesn't think I get paid enough and I should get paid a whole lot more. Well, I thanked him for his sentiment on that. But corporations are evil and greedy. They put mom and pop stores out of business by selling things at low prices and paying their employees too little so they can make too much. Now, of course, it's the customers who want to save money and the employees who want a job, even if they don't get paid huge salaries, who really put the mom and pop stores out of business. But that aside, the truth is the people in top management who make a lot of money, a lot more money than most employees uh, do so in part because they wanted to make more money than they were. Just like he was saying I needed to. And the only difference between the employee who wants to make more money and the CEO who does make more money is that the well-paid ones simply succeeded in getting their desire, while the average employee did not. That's the only difference. Does that make them any happier for making more money? Studies have actually shown that more money cannot buy lasting happiness. Oftentimes, the opposite is true. Rich people commit suicide just like poor people. And the truth is, if I am fully content with having a roof over my head, having clothes on my back, and having food on my table, truly, fully content, then I am the richest person on earth. After all, is it not the discontent, the jealousy, the covetousness that causes employees so much misery? Consider this for a moment. Here in the US and in other developed nations, we are all rich. The poor among us often have cars, cell phones, computers, basic health care if something bad happens, and the opportunity to either get a job or not get a job and still get paid enough to live. But we get lost in our story. I don't have this. I don't have that. I want more. I want less struggles. And my struggles, of which I want less, most of them you can't see right now. You can't touch. You can't feel. Look around you without referencing a story or judging what you see. Take a moment to do that. Look around you right now. Don't reference any kind of story. Don't judge it. Just look, see. And you just might find that your struggles are very small right now, if they even exist at all. Discontent comes, along with the misery it causes, when we dwell in the story, when we dwell in the head, and when, because of this, we fight against life. In Philippians chapter 4 and verse 11, Paul makes the statement that he has learned that in whatever circumstances to be content. And before he said that, in verse 7 he says, "The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus." And in verse 9, "The God of peace will be with you." Now, Paul had learned the secret to peace, to true riches, regardless of where he lived or what he had or did not have to eat. He was fully content. And by fully content, that's not, well, that's just the way it is and I'll settle for it. But within me, I am not at war with what is. I am friends with the present moment. I am content to be fully here now. Not fighting for some future moment or some other place, but instead allowing what is to be without dwelling in a story about it. But the truth is, we are addicted to pain and suffering. I don't have this. I do have that. Someone did me wrong. I don't want to be right here. I want it to be tomorrow, or at least quitting time. My car doesn't work. My bills are past due. I am underappreciated. I am underpaid. I deserve more. Let me ask you this. Can you let all of that go completely? Why not? We are addicted to pain and suffering, most of which we cause ourselves. We are lost in the story. We are identified with the person we think we are, which is really only a fiction in the head. And we are terrified by the thought of letting all of that go. You know, God will not force peace on you. He merely calls you and draws you to it. It's all around you. It abounds within you. All you need to do is to wake up and be at peace with reality, with life. Not the life story, but life itself. Your body is filled with it, or your body would be dead if it was not. And that life that keeps your body alive is the breath of God. That's what the scriptures say. You don't need to think about this, although it is a very nice thought. Right now, I'm sitting at my desk. I am breathing. I can feel the life that fills my body. And if I don't judge it, or make a story about it, or fight against it, or label it, or make an identity out of it, then it becomes infinite bliss. And I am, by far, the richest person on earth. In 1 Corinthians chapter 3, Paul talks about building with gold and silver and gemstones, or with wood, hay, and straw or stubble. One lasts while the other burns away. Your story, your complaints, your struggles, your mind-made person you think you are, they all come and they all go. They are not forever. They are not eternal. But God's breath, the life that courses through your vessel, that life that you can fully experience only when you get out of your head and go into the temple, that is gold, silver, and gemstones. That is eternal. It is only here, and it is only now. When you are elsewhere, it is not there, and you suffer. Can you step back for just a moment and see that the mind is addicted to pain? suffering, to building up or tearing down the person it has created and thinks you are, or other people's minds have created and thinks they are. All of that is not you. And all of that is not life. It is wood, hay, and stubble. It is here for an instant and then vanishes away. And yet, that is what we build on the foundation of Christ. Christ. Jesus is the formless God in the form of a man. But before his form we call Yeshua, he simply is. What do you build on the foundation of I am? Do you build I was, I will be, I have, I don't have, I want, I don't want, I am this, I am that? I am a prisoner asleep in a fantasy inside my head, taking that fantasy so seriously that I live in a struggle that will end only when I'm dead. Step out of the carnal, earthly, worldly realm in your head and come into the temple and learn to truly worship Him there.